How's it going, Guardians? Mr. here, and welcome to my brand new series, what I do here every Saturday. I'll tell you the TWAB, Xurs, and Trials. So, let's get into it straight away. So, let's start off with Xurs first, where this week he's located on Nessus in the One Cove, near the giant tree. Now, if you just follow where I'm going on the map now, it's a bit difficult to talk about where I am, since I am not yet recorded this. So, yeah. I'm gonna say now for Xurs, but yeah. So once you get to Xurs, basically, you got your normal exotic cipher quest. You've got your exotic engram, which I would not suggest picking up unless you've got like over 1,000 legendary shards. And we also have his weekly featured weapon, which this week is the Arbelast. Now, I would suggest picking this weapon up and you have a good day in any like game mode or anything. For Nightfalls, it is amazing for breaking shields. In Crucible, like even Trials, it's pretty good since you can get a body shot and a headshot and get an insta kill in medium range. And it's just a good weapon all the way around with its exotic, it's exotic belt, which I don't know what it's called, but basically, breaking the shield does 50% more kinetic damage, and since Arbelast is a kinetic weapon, it just boosts its own damage. And, with the Warlock armor this week, we have the Aeon Soul, which, since Aeons got updated, I believe it was this season, I don't really know what's going on with them. I've not used them, so let me know in the comments if they're good or not. I heard it's like one of them, when you finish it gives you a heavy armor brick or something, but hey, I don't use the Aeons, so if you know they're good, if you use them quite a lot, I was just picking this up for your Warlock. But for the Hunter and the Titans this week, I would definitely suggest picking those up, because for the Hunters this week we have the Mobius Rig exotic leg armor, which I can tell you for being a hunter for the majority of my life in Destiny, that the Mobius rigs are a very, very, very important part of your loadout if you like to play boss and true tether, since basically when you tether an enemy, you kill it with your weapon instead of it letting a tether kill it, and you know what happens? You get more tether energy, which means more tethers. So, if you like to use your tether super, I would suggest picking up the Mobius rigs. Now, one of the Titans is the Blind Ramparts, which I can tell you from experience, amazing, amazing, amazing. Since, the Blind Ramparts, better mobility for the Titans, like the Warlocks and Hunters have their transverse steps and stompies respectively. But this particular one, for Civilized Titans, to the Swords Gate, which, if you know how to speedrun in this game, then I would 100% suggest getting the Blind Ramparts. Now let's move on to the Trials part of this video. This week's map is the Javelin 4 on Io. Cool bit of lore, since Io, Mercury, Titan, and Mars, I think, it was Mars, got destroyed. We have been using Osiris's Vex technology to simulate these old maps, which I actually find is pretty interesting. But it's a bit weird how you can't simulate Mars maps anymore, but you can simulate the others. Maybe future plotline on that, I don't know. Anyway, so this week we have the Astral Horizon shotgun for the 3 wins, which means that a lot of blueberries will be playing this week, since a lot of people will be wanting to get that Astral Horizon, even people like me. So you can just wipe whoever's team's going up against you, since probably just gone trials to try and get the Astral Horizon. Anyway, for this week's 5 wins is the brand new chest plate, which I don't really like the new Trails armor. If you like it, you can go for 5 wins. But yeah, I don't really like it. Same with the armor this week, which is the 7 wins, which, once again, do not like the new armor that there is this week, or just the new Trials armor in general. I'd say it's definitely not an improvement of the old one, but if you like it, you can go for the 7 wins. But if you are a PvP or Trials sweat, you can go for the flawless Adept weapon this week, which is the Astral Horizon Adept, which, yeah, it's pretty good. I've been on the other end of this weapon multiple times in Crucible, so, I mean, I would suggest picking up this weapon, but only if you're a Trial sweat. But if you can go for those 3 wins, just to get the base form of the shotgun, that'll be fine. Even if it's a bad roll, it's still a pretty decent weapon. Anyway, now, let's move on to the TWAB section of this video. Guardians are further proving their worth as the Proving Ground has become the weekly featured Nightfall Strike this week. We'll also be adding it to the Vanguard Strike playlist so that all players will now have the chance to tackle the giant land tank method. So if you haven't had a chance to log in this week, it's a great time to load up the game. If you have already been playing, you probably wait for me to say something that you don't know already. So, with the return of Ada 1 to the tower in Season 14, we are introducing some small quality of life upgrades to a couple of our tower vendors. First, in addition to being the primary vendor associated with the upcoming translog system, also known as armor services, Ada 1 will be becoming the vendor who delivers a variety of armor-focused items and upgrades. Each day, Ada 1 will now sell one randomly chosen armor mod from the general and armor slot, helmets, gauntlets, etc. And one randomly chosen combat style armor mod chosen from the Charge of Light and Warmind style mod groups, which should make it easier for players who missed these in the past to get their hands on some armor mods from year 3. Additionally, on a week basis, Ada 1 will sell one armor set randomly chosen from the World Loot Pool, with a stat roll that is also chosen on a weekly basis. Finally, Ada 1 will also sell upgrade materials, so upgrade modules, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, etc. In the same way that Banshee 44 does right now. With Ada 1 taking on the responsibilities of armor, Banshee will be getting a few new revisions to his inventory as well. Gunsmith will no longer sell armor mods, but will retain the rest of his items that he currently sells. Additionally, on a weekly basis, Banshee will sell a selection of 6 weapons, randomly chosen weapons from the World Loot Pool, which will be 2 kinetics, 2 LMGs, and 2 power weapons. With each perk roll on a weapon will be randomly determined at the start of the week, so each reset you can log in and you can head to the tower to see what the gunsmith is selling and maybe pick up a weapon with a roll you've been looking for example. Now what we've got about Ada 1 and Banshee here is actually quite interesting. Yeah, obviously we knew Ada 1 was coming back with the new transport system. We got that news quite a while ago on the day for TWAB. And some of us kind of guessed that Banshee and some of the other vendors like maybe Savara or maybe even like Cora. I think she's getting some new stuff next season. Or that might be Witch Queen. But yeah, some other vendors might be getting some newer items in the future. So yeah, and especially with her selling mods, which I don't think I expected. But yeah, she will sell armor and mods now, which I can see the armor being the armor synthesis and also being about the black armory. Yeah, so I mean Banshee will be getting rid of his armor stuff, but at least this will be a new event. We received some feedback on the perks like Celerity and Bottom's Grief from players asking that they'd be additional enchanting bonuses to their weapons. Future weapon feature lead Chris Protractor, I'm guessing his name is here to share some philosophy on perks that we're planning to change in the future. We've launched Trials of Osiris. We've made a new Origin. Cannot say this word. specific perk, short, Trials Weapons, Celerity. This is wildly perk, plus 1 aim assist, handling and reload speed, plus reduced recoil and spread. This perk is nothing to sneeze at, with a very low uptime. We intended it to be our Guardian's Clutch, last Guardian standing, Trials Blade, once again, cannot pronounce these words. When it is activated, it is very strong, but we found that through conditions, at least on a failure, generally feels pretty bad. And power, it does not grant negative healing. Players never like to be betting against themselves or against their teams. Not only that, but this perk is useless outside of trials. A couple of other activities. Side note, the Deep Encrypt Origin perk will well received, and while Celerity specifically, I think is that everything, didn't hit the mark, the idea still has legs. And beyond that, the introduce of Adept weapons to trials, so wanting to try out the system for traditional weapons in small sets of now broadly. We have 3 goals for Adept weapons. Number 1. Give players a tangible reward to aspire for towards with custom visuals and games, making them flexible. Number 2. Give players who've earned an Adept weapon a minor power boost to some game customization options in the form of improved masterwork, granting free draw stats and the ability to equip Adepts. Number 3. Do not make players who can't earn these weapons feel like they cannot compete with players who have off gone. Yeah, we've all seen your suggestions to make Celerity and Bottomless Grief in transit to Trials and Nightfall weapons, or long to Adept versions, and I wanted to touch this idea on you. Thematically, this is a cool idea and adds flavour to these perks and gives their sources, but there's some problems. Performance reasons, we have to have maximum perks for on character each time. Legendary weapons have threshold per weapon, and many of them are quite at the limit. Adding the perk on top of that would be taking one away because bad things can happen in forms of random parts, perks turning off and all that. Adding a new perk column for these weapons, these specific sources, still can't do it. Power creep includes power creep, and pretty soon we'll be ending up having the same weapon from the sources. And adding number 3, adding a new column for only to Adept weapons, make it again 12 offer goes with Adept weapons. We believe that bad players dying to Adept weapons and be able to select things like Celerity with Outlaw and Rampage. We're pretty bad too, so Rampage actually good. In Season 14, we're making following changes to Nightfall and Trials and their Adept versions. Note, this only applies to the new drops and weapons from previous drops. Nightfall weapons, Bottomless Grief, grants penalty, active, plus 30 to the magazine. Bottomless Grief now is fixed in alternative perk in the left column of Adept medical drops. Weapons, i.e. you can switch between randomly rolled perk in the inspected screen. Trials weapon Celerity grants a permanently active plus 20 to both reload and speed. Celerity is now fixed. Alternate perks, right hand column, the Adept weapon Trials, i.e. you can switch. Yeah, basically just the same as what it said on the record. Moving forward, we are not done with the orange perks, and we hope to have some better achieved goals in future releases. So, I don't really play Trials, so most of this doesn't apply to me. But the Nightfall part does, because I play Nightfalls quite a lot. And I see people saying, yeah, you could do this, but then Bungie saying, we tried, but it just doesn't work. And we want people to have a set feel to, if they don't have Adept weapons like me, don't feel left out or anything. Like how they said in the I think it's the first ever TWAB reunion I did. He said he wanted to reduce FOMO, so yeah, there's that. And I think they're doing actually a pretty good job. Next week we're going to be firing up the stream machine again, and we had a lot of fun last month when we took a deeper dive into the Deep Stone Crypt. If you haven't gotten a chance already, you can check it out. You can watch the replay here. Obviously you guys cannot click that, so I'll put a link in the description. This time we are given a live presentation of the Presage exotic mission that went live earlier this season. We've lined up respective representatives from several of our teams that have worked to create this experience and are ready to share some behind the scenes. Yay. If you've enjoyed this experience, you explored our spooky derelict ship and want to learn some more about what it was like to put together, join us next week. So the Presage mission, the Presage Exotic Mission Developer Deep Dive, Wednesday, April 7th, 10 AM Pacific. I think that's not Pacific Standard Time, PDT. I don't know that one, but yeah, whatever. Twitch.tv/Bungie and YouTube.com/Bungie. We'd also love to hear your questions and further development teams, so sound off here. With that being one, and anything that you've been wondering, just get as many questions as possible. Yeah, so that seems pretty good, and yeah, it seems like it's quite interesting. I didn't watch the last one, Deep Stone Crypt. I watched like a bit of it, but it seems that, you know, I'm gonna watch this one because it seemed pretty interesting, and I quite like it. So let's move on. Now let's move on to the hot fixes. Proving Grounds and Nightfall. Earlier this week, the Proving Grounds strike ended the Nightfall playlist, and the season was going to be revealed on our seasonal calendar, which showed March 30th, the Proving Grounds strike would enter the Vanguard playlist for all players. Failed to acknowledge the calendar that Beyond Light and the Season Pass would be required to play the Nightfall version of the Proving Grounds. All Nightfall requires the ownership of the expansion, of the associated expansion to access. For example, all previous expansion gated Nightfalls versus Nightfalls below. So free to play are the Armed Healer, Devil's Lair, Disgrace, Exodus Crash, Fallen Saber, Verted Spire, Insight Terminus, and Corrupted, and the Lake of Shadows. Forsaken, ones that you need Forsaken for are the Corrupted, Howler, and Word of Nothing. And with Shadowkeep, you'll need is the Scarlet Keep, and then for the TV on Lights, which is Glassway, which you saw last season, and the Proving Grounds, which we got this season. Working with our teams to update the seasonal chosen calendar for future calendars to make it better reflect this direction. Okay, Guardian Games Ghost Shells. With the launch of patch 3.1.1, it's discovered that the player Guardian Ghost Shell were being replaced with other Ghost Shells and would disappear when encrypted. This issue is now solved. To address any loss of currencies resulting in this issue, players will be granted masterwork versions of each Ghost Shell. So I never got my Ghost Shell, so yeah. Players with fallen true Ghost Shells will be sent to their postmaster and pick them up before they get pushed out by items and are no longer available. Flawless Dungeon. With the release of Beyond Light, some changes were made how to get a Flawless Trial. We were rewarded for dungeon completions. However, previously, Flawless Triumphs were awarded on individual basis, not for dying during the activity. Now they are on a fire team basis, which means that if every member of the fire team will need no deaths to activate the Flawless Triumph to be awarded for each dungeon. So I think this basically means if you're in a fire team of 3, say, and you went into the Prophecy Dungeon, if one of you was to fall off the edge of the Sparrow part, which I do that quite a lot when I get up to the Sparrow part, yeah, if one of you was to do that, then the entire team would not get the Flawless, not just you. Okay, cross-save reminders. Prior to the alternate cross-save setup, players should know that cross-save does not permanently transfer character data between platforms. In order to cross-save characters on different platforms, they the originate cross save must remain active. There is no possible way to permanently transfer account data between platforms. To get started to crossplay, click here please. I've already run my crossplay, so yeah. Oh, I can actually turn on my PlayStation. Weekly known issues. We will continue to investigate various known issues. A list of some reported to us on our help form. Players can continuously respawn the electric wall in the passage mission and become trapped. Players may be stuck under the moving platforms in the Proving Ground Strike. The wanted Arcadia Court bounty is no longer available from Spider. Xurs, Greed of Zevra Wrath, is incorrectly displaying as a fallen walker. Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. And players using Wishender may not be able to see through walls if standing in a Warlock roof. Don't know why that would be a thing. Full list of all measurements in the issues in Destiny 2. Players can review our knowledge inside article. Known inside issues article. Players who observe other issues report it to the help form. Smoothie. Okay, it's just an 8-bit remix. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. So that's the entire TWAB this week. Yeah. No, if you enjoyed or found this video helpful in any way, shape or form, hit the like button and subscribe. Also, want to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my uploads or my streams, because I stream on here sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And talking about streaming, why don't you check out my Twitch channel, which I'll link in the description. I try to stream there 3 times a week. I've not streamed in the past couple of weeks though, just because I've not. But this week I am planning to stream some new games I've not played before. So yeah. And also, while you're in the description, why not check out my Twitter, my TikTok, and my Discord, because I have those. And you know, it's always good to chat with you guys on Discord and even on Twitter and on TikTok. I might post some exclusive content, and you do not want to miss that. Anyway, this is all from me, Guardians. Stay safe, have a good day, and yeah, see you next time. Miss Quaven, signing out. See ya.